everybody. Warm welcome to Amazing You podcast and YouTube channels. The channels where stories of resilience, triumph, and unwavering hope come to life. And in each episode, we dive into the inspiring journey of individuals who have faced the toughest challenges head on and emerged victorious. Our aim is to be a beacon of hope and inspiration, offering a guiding light to those navigating through difficult times. And whether you are dealing with health challenges, professional setbacks, or personal struggles, this channel is dedicated to uplifting your spirit and showing you that even in the darkest moments, there is a path to hope and triumph. So join us as we share powerful stories that transcend adversity, reminding you that resilience is a force within us all. So be prepared, everybody, to be inspired and to find the strength to navigate life's challenges. My name is Dr. Drranithanacoody. I am your host. I am a clinical hypnotherapist using rapid transformational therapy. I am a Mars Venus, life and relationship coach, tarot reader, astrologer, past life regression practitioner, breathwork coach, and life force compassion practitioner. And today, I am really excited to introduce you to a very special gentleman that I met at a conference not long ago in London. So his name is Heron Miah. Heron is a leadership and wellness coach, and he is a firm believer that our gut health plays a major part in our overall well-being. So welcome, Heron, to Amazing You.
Thank you so much, Rani. I really appreciate your introduction, and I appreciate you inviting me to your amazing you program that you do so amazingly. So, to use the words many times is still just to make sure that I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, your precious time. I know how busy you are. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation with you so that you can share about these great things that you are doing to the audience, because we don't realize how important our gut health is. But my first question to you, Heron, can you share with the audience briefly about your journey and how did you get to this interesting thing that you are doing? Tell us more.
Excellent. Thank you for the question. For me, I've been looking really, it's more of a personal journey than anything else. Been looking at on two levels. One, on a personal level, I wanted to find a solution, health solution for my mom, more than anything else. And especially, after learning about this particular, like a discovery that, as Hippocrates, had said that all disease begins in the gut. And it wasn't something, I'm not from a medicine background, a medical background, or anything like that. But when I realized that if a father of medicine who was said 300 years ago something, and that is actually where the problem is from, then maybe I need to look into it. And as I looked into it more, I said, okay, this is where, if that's where the problem is, then that's where the solution needs to come from as well. So this is exactly why it sort of led me to this. But my background when it comes to the world of business, I've been involved in business. I've been involved in coaching. I've been involved in various different things, various different journeys. But the end result is that where we can help others, health and wealth wise, is where I am now. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And you were telling me earlier that you've been a keynote speaker. So can you share with us, and that is wonderful to hear, and you have more speaking engagements coming. So can you share with the audience what are some of the most meaningful messages that you found resonate with audiences regarding health and personal development?
Sure. No, thank you for the question. Okay, so for me, being a keynote speaker, it's really, the opportunity was really incredible opportunity to be able to speak to more like shall we say, it's like academy, university type of audience. And the 150, teachers were there actually. And It's about some more A-level students who are there as well. And what is actually interesting here is that what I was sharing with them is more about holistic approach to personal development. Whether it's for a student or whether it's for a teacher, or whether it's for any person. So the subject matter that I was discussing with them is more about how can we have more of a holistic approach to personal development as opposed to looking at just mind maybe, or body maybe, or soul maybe, but what about all the connection of all those three things together? And really looking at when we are looking at externally, when we're looking externally for solutions, the actual answers are lied within us. And one of the key thing I actually shared with them is just as a practical scenario is, okay, who in this room is on social media? And they all of them put their hand up. I said, okay, who in this room is on social media and is not on this side of the fence where they're consuming it? Who is actually on the other side of the fence where who's delivering it? Who's actually making the money, who's actually making the changes, who's actually doing something? So why are you on this side of the fence always consuming, consuming, consuming? But there is a wealth that you could be tapping into, that you're missing out on. So why not be a producer as well as a consumer, equally as just being a consumer? So to them, there was like a new sort of like a thought being ignited in their heads that no, I can actually be a producer. So as you're going about your life, the people you might be here in this country where you are right now, people somewhere else in the world, they want to know more about you. So if you were to set up a YouTube channel or do this or do that, you will be able to, you'll never know where your audiences are, So this was some of the things that was shared with them. And it's like for them, it was more of giving them a different kind of approach to the life that they're thinking of, where they would continuously saying, there's no job market, there's no job here, there's no job here. I said, but the job is already there. You don't have to tap into this small space that you're just in. The world is your job. You can do so much more than just thinking about a daily thing that you could be doing as a job. So these were some of the things that was shared as more of like I said, a holistic approach to personal development.
Thank you so much, Heron. And looking at your bio, you are a serial entrepreneur who's got extensive experience building large organizations. What do you think has been your biggest takeaway from your entrepreneurial journey, Heron?
Okay, I mean, for me, the biggest takeaway really is looking at, I think we were discussing earlier, one of the key words that you used, and and this is exactly what resonates with me. I think really consistency. I think the consistency is the word that, should be, if you want to form any results or anything like that, it's about goal setting, very true. If you begin with the end in mind, Stephen R. Covey, he's one of my favorite authors. He wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the key takeaway from that for me was begin with an end in mind. So when I decided that as an entrepreneur, that we have some mental hangups. Mental hangups meaning we have some mental barriers to certain things. So for me, the important thing here is that with some of the mental hangups as an entrepreneur was I couldn't think of, earning more than a certain amount. I couldn't think of earning more than a certain amount. There was a mental barrier, and that barrier was saying that, average salary in the UK is 28,000, 30,000 a year. But in certain industries I know, they're making that in a month. And I couldn't, it just, somehow it just didn't register in my head that it's possible. So I wanted to break through the mental ceiling and know that it is possible to do that it is actually possible. So I actually used a particular project where I did about $11 million worth of business within 12 months. And that began with an end in mind. Because what the end I wanted was to be able to earn not just 20,000, not just 30,000 a month. I wanted to earn 100,000 a month. I think, okay. And then I then broke it down to when I did 100,000 a month is what exactly per day? Is 3,334. So 3,334 is the amount that I had in my mind. That's what I want to achieve every single day, and to make it up to 100,000 a month income. And this will be helping me to break through the mental ceiling in my head. This will help me to go through, achieving certain results. So I said, and I want to do this within 12 months. So I began with an end in mind. I set the time frame 12 months, and I started working. And as I did this, and I would wake up in the morning with 3334 in my head. I would sleep at night with 3334 in my head. So this 3334 was something that was literally, maybe I've written on my forehead many times over in my head. So month one, month two, month three passed, and I was slowly gaining momentum. All I was doing was strategy was phone calls, Zoom calls, phone calls, Zoom calls. And I continuously really focused on that task, knowing, and what I was dealing with was a crypto-based project. Okay. So a few months passed. On the 11th month, I did hit that 3334. So within 12 months, I did hit that. Now, this is where the disadvantage happened. On the 11th month, even though I did hit that and I did start to earn 100K a month during that time, on the 12th month, unfortunately, the company collapsed and it took away $3.8 billion worth of money from people and then went.
Wow.
So why am I sharing this with you? Yes, it helped me to break through the mental ceiling, but sometimes you've got to choose the right project, or a project that has a long-term shape with a vision. I felt that one had that, but it was in a crypto space, and anything can happen in crypto.
Absolutely, you are
so
right.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
that's exactly what happened. So that's the reason why what I'm doing now in the health industry is I know that I'm dealing with it in a different way. But the goal for me, again, as an entrepreneur, is the same. I want to, now that I've broken through the mental ceiling, I want to be able to now set new trends for myself, just for myself, for me to be able to, like I know now it's possible to make 100K a month. So I want to be able to do that in the health industry. That's basically.
Thank you, Heron. I think that is really very powerful what you said about using the power of your mind, You use the power of your mind to create the picture of what you want to get. And as you keep seeing that every day in, day out, then it manifested. It becomes your reality, because everything starts with the mind. And Marissa Peer, very well-known hypnotherapist, she said it comes to two things, everything that we want. It's the pictures we make in our mind and the words we say to ourselves. And it can change our lives, And that's what you did. You created that picture, that vision, and you manifested that and you achieved that. But it wasn't your fault that the crypto company, we know what's happened on the market with that. Yeah, but I think it's something that we can all learn to use the power of our mind, because our mind is the most powerful computer, most powerful than AI. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for sharing that, because we very often underestimate the power that we have as individuals and the power of our mind. Yeah. Thank you. And I would like to ask you, what in challenging times, because you are a businessman, you've been part of so many businesses, and I'm sure we all face challenges, and you have faced challenges too. So what personal mantra or philosophy do you rely on to stay resilient and focused, Heron?
So I will share two things with you, and it's that those two things are really, for me, is really, I believe that we live in moments and not in time. I believe that we live in moments and not in time. And what I mean by that is that I'm very sure that however old we are now, we don't remember every day, every week, every month, every year. Okay, so we don't live in time. But I do remember certain moments in my life that really molded who I am today. So for me, my objective is to be able to create many more happy moments so I can put it in my memory bank. The more happy moments I can create in my life, because that's all we live on. I live in moments, not in time. So I want to be able to create more happy moments that I can put into my memory bank. So when I'm, in my 70s, in my 60s, 70s, if I live that long, I want to be able to look back on that time and say, yeah, I did definitely bank some really amazing memories, you know, and that's the kind of philosophy when it comes to living moment as opposed to living in time. Second thing I would just simply say is that I feel that there are no such thing as strangers. It's only friends you haven't met. So the reason why you and I were able to connect in the event that we met is because I have this personal philosophy that there are no such thing as strangers. It's only friends you haven't met. So it's yes, very true. Do I know Rani? No, if you're looking from that point of view. But for me, Rani is a friend. I just haven't met her. She is already my friend. So I have this personal philosophies, which is why I'm able to connect with someone, because I don't look at them as a stranger. I look at them as a friend. I will be talking to you as if we've already knew each other, from a human level. So those are sort of two personal philosophies that I go by. And the other part, the third one I just share for the time being is, the know, like, and trust factor. You've got to be able to communicate well for you to be able to, get to know a little bit. So as in get other person to know you a little bit, like you a little bit, trust you a little bit, through your communication, through your ability to actually build the rapport. The sooner able to, the more you are able to build the rapport, the faster you're able to communicate, build a positive rapport, the more faster you'll be able to have this KLT factor, know, like, and trust factor, and that person will then, may impart, they give their time to you, may give their energy to you, because they feel that they feel a bit more connection with you. So otherwise, there is no reason why, if someone doesn't know you a little bit, like you a little bit, and trust you a little bit, there's no reason why they should give you their time, money, or energy, or anything. So those are sort of three philosophies that I personally go by.
Thank you for sharing those. Those are really great nuggets, golden nuggets that you shared, because our mind is so wired to think negative. And, looking for those great memories that we can carry on with us, I think that's very valuable, that's very powerful, because that will also give us more joy in our life. Because if we sit with those sad memories, it will make us feel depressed, thinking of the past, of what the bad things. So it's really great that you rewire your brain by looking at the positive to carry you forward. You're looking at the positive in your past and you carry that to bring you forward. Thank you. And the time is so, we've got to finish soon, but I've got still so many questions I want to ask you. So for somebody, let's say you have anybody who want to start on their health and personal development journey, what advice would you offer them, Harold?
First, look to yourself. Look at what you can improve on, look at what you can do to yourself. Ultimately, if you cannot be the best example of whatever you're trying to convey, then you can't really convey anything. So for me, it's really about, if I'm not the best version of me, then I can't really. It's like there is a reason why they say in the airplanes, there's a reason why they say put the mask on yourself first before you go to the next person. It's not because the next person could be a child, it could be a mother, it could be anyone who's very close to your heart. If you are not able to breathe yourself, then how can you help them to breathe? So for me, anyone who wants to start anything, look at yourself and say, it's like each time you're pointing a finger at someone, there's always four fingers pointing back at you. So ultimately, it's very important that be the best version. Let's say there's a particular product line that I love. Why? Because it helps with the gut. It helps with the gut health. And for me, the fact that I personally am taking it, I'm a living example of how good or bad it is. How it's impacting my life, how it's impacting my mom's life, how it's impacting my family's life. So if I know that, at the end of it, people can tell whether you're trying to sell something. They should be selling without selling. What do I mean by you should be selling without selling? Sales really is only one thing. Sales is simply a transfer of enthusiasm. That's what it is. If you don't feel enthusiastic and if you don't feel good, if you don't feel proud to represent something, then you're not doing the right thing. That's not for you. So for anyone who wants to start anything, they have to introspectively, they look at themselves first, see what do I want to do? What am I good at? I always feel that the curiosity, think of what you're curious about, what is actually gives you curiosity, what gives you the kind of a passion for you to learn more about. That is what you want to do. So for me, when I became curious about gut, why? Because I put gut health. I didn't know much about gut at all. I put gut. It's like I used to watch David Attenborough's the underwater seas and everything like that.
Okay.
There's so many life forms under the sea we know nothing about. I equate the gut with the underwater. There's so many life organisms, living bacteria, all sorts of enzymes, everything like living in our gut. So, to answer your question in a nutshell, is to say, look at yourself first before you decide to do anything. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much. These are great points, and I hope that the audience is taking note and is going to put those ideas into practice. And what one takeaway, Heron, that you want the listeners and viewers to remember about gut health and its impact on well-being?
One message is what I'll say. And that one message is the question that I asked and answered myself. And that question is there one thing that I can do every day with regards to my health that will have impact on my overall health in every way? And that one thing is gut. When I discovered that, so that is what I want you to take away, is that whatever you can to positively impact your gut health is the kind of things that you should be looking at doing. And if you're looking at from a personal perspective, always, like I said before, looking at, evaluating yourself and looking at where you want to be and work backwards, and then and with a set of plan and get there through that process. That's what I would leave with.
Thank you so much. And can you share with us what are some of the projects or initiatives that you are currently working on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a couple of things I'm doing. One which is actually gut health related, and I fell in love with this particular company called Love Biome. It's a microbiome. It's basically microbiome gut health, and the company is called Love Biome. Amazingly, I just love the way they've done everything. It's a very simple question. They answered exactly the question I said, and they focus on creating probiotics, and they're looking at they're creating prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics combined together, which is called symbiotics. So they combine all of these things together specifically to help with gut health. And many, many people I know are benefiting from it, including my mom. Like if you're looking at from my own family, when it comes to diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, when it comes to, autism, even depression, mental health, all of those things I never knew. They're all related to a gut. Just one thing I would leave with you to say, do this. You can just simply do it to yourself. Type in gut microbiome and any illness you want. Type in on Google gut microbiome and diabetes and blood pressure and And then you will see the evidence of the relationship between the two in there. And that's just a homework that you can do and you can see for yourself. And the second project I'm working on is, creating websites. I've been running with a good family friend of mine. I've been running a website, graphic design company for 15 years now. I don't manage it, but I participate in it. But we want to bring something to the market, which is a monthly subscription-based website. So, a plumber, a carpenter, everyone is to have web presence. Everyone may not be able to, they may not know what domain name is, hosting is, how to word things right, how to, create branding. We take care of everything. And instead of paying us a lump sum money, we take care of the domain name, hosting, everything, and they just pay us a monthly fee, like for 3-page website, which we will do everything, manage everything, ongoing as well as setting it up, even creating the content for them. They pay £35 a month. Example, I'm giving 3-page, and there are other, of course, customizable and other things as well. But we want to be able to make and give anyone and everyone who is entrepreneur or small business owner ability for them to be able to have a web presence. I believe that, like I said, everyone needs to have a web presence as well. So those are the two projects that I'm working on. And, I feel, like I said, I feel a great deal of pride in sharing this with you. So that's the reason why. But, of course, that's the reason why I guess I wake up every morning, just to be able to share that information and the message with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heron. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. That is super exciting because everybody now, everything is going online, and everybody, whatever job we do, we need to have a website, a web presence. So, and you taking care of all that because we are not everybody is experts at doing that. So when we give it to the experts, we can take care of other things in our businesses, So thank you so much for the great work. And also, how can people contact you and stay updated or connect with you, Heron?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much an open book. So, I'm sure they'll be able to connect me through the website that Rani can share with you in terms of betterguthealth.lovebiome.com. That's one way. Through Instagram, Coach Heron is a Coach_Heron, or through if you're looking even WhatsApp, those details can be had through, of course, the YouTube channel that Rani is amazingly providing with, like kindly providing all of us. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is if like I said, call on Instagram, that's one of the best ways to connect with me. I've not been actually so, shall we say, active in that until recently. I think it's time to embrace social media. So that's one of the ways you can get in touch with me for sure.
That is fabulous, Heron. It's been a great pleasure to have you today on the channels. And I would like to say huge thank you for taking your time. I know you've been in other meetings and you still find the time today to connect, to be online. So really appreciate that. And I wish you all the best in everything that you do. And big thank you to the audience as well for watching, sharing, and subscribing. And any final words before we end, Heron, that you would like?
The final words really are to you. So I appreciate you and thank you so much for, giving this platform and arranging this, making this consistent work that you're doing. So I really appreciate you very much, Rani.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Heron. And thank you, everybody. We will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.